we will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
Are you ready for the question? This question.
I was gonna say, you better be more specific.
May 4th.
It's like, may the 4th be with you.
I was wondering if you were going to remember that.
I was going,
You're
are
ready.
you ready for the question? Which question you talking about? She says in the presence of her husband.
Right. So, strictly speaking, nominations aren't necessary. :
What does the colon do?
When A, when all the current officers have agreed to continue serving. B, when an election is by ballot or roll call. C, when an organization does not have a nominating committee. D, since it is practical, don't ask me why it started with since it is practical to proceed to an election without first making nominations.
What?
I know.
Okay, start that over again, because this whole question sounds totally nonsensical.
I'm reading it and I'm not making sense of it. Okay, the intro part is strictly speaking, nominations aren't necessary, : A, when all the current officers have agreed to continue serving. B, when an election is by ballot or roll call. That's quite a face you made.
Keep going.
C,
That was a what with a yawn mixed in.
C, when an organization does not have a nominating committee. D, since it is practical to proceed to an election without first making nominations.
Okay. First of all, B is ridiculously wrong. We can eliminate that one almost instantly. Give me A again.
It can
When-
only be A.
What?
It can only be A.
Our audience thinks it's A. When all the current officers have agreed to continue serving is A.
Okay. C.
When an organization does not have a nominating committee.
I'm not sure about that one. D.
Since it is practical to proceed to an election without first making nominations.
Well, D doesn't make any sense either, because you have to do a nomination. A person being nominated has to have the chance to accept or decline the nomination. So D definitely don't make no sense. So we're back to A, which is what the audience is polling, which again is
When all the current officers have agreed to continue serving.
and then the other one was C, which said what again?
When an organization does not have a nominating committee.
Okay, I'm not so sure about the nominating committee because I'm not familiar with using them very often. A, when the current officers agree to continue serving.
Mm-hmm.
But what if there are other candidates? So that's just because the officers agree want to agree to stay on doesn't mean other people may not want the positions. So I don't think A makes any sense. So I'm going to go with C just by elimination.
Okay. And the audience says A.
We phone a friend.
It's the only one that none of them make sense.
The whole question doesn't make any sense.
Right. But A is the closest one to.
We sure April didn't
Making sense.
sneak one in here in May?
You guys are gonna shit a brick.
What?
B.
What?
Really?
B says what again?
When an election is by ballot or roll call.
Oh, horse shit.
We'll go to the pages, Mr. Seebeck. 430. Lines 17 through 20. I told you you'd shit a brick.
I'm not shitting a brick. I just don't believe it.
430.
Nominations and elections. Okay. It's the beginning of the chapter. Yeah.
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Just take the tab off the top. Right there.
Oh. Okay, I don't ever do that. And what, 17 through 20? Oh, you want me to start from the top? No.
Oh, no, you're the one reading it. So.
Okay. Strictly speaking, it's just quoting it. Okay. Strictly speaking, nominations are not necessary when an election is by ballot or roll call, since each member is free to vote for any eligible person, whether he has been nominated or not. And that makes sense, actually.
Why?
The key here is the first two words, strictly speaking. When you have a ballot, you can write in anyone you want.
Yeah.
So, strictly speaking, a nomination's not necessary. You can write them in. I don't know what by roll call means.
That means everybody who votes, you call them out by name as if you're doing a roll call vote, and they say who they want to vote for.
Okay.
So instead of in a convention setting where we normally do our elections, you would have to go through and call out everybody by name, one by one, to see who they wanted to vote. I've only seen a roll call vote in a convention once. I never want to see it again because it took a good 15 minutes.
Well, let's continue because I think it explains what I just said.
Yeah.
So let's start. I'm going to read it from the beginning again. Strictly speaking, nominations are not necessary when an election is by ballot or roll call, since each member is free to vote for any eligible person, whether he has been nominated or not. In most societies, however, it is impracticable to proceed to an election with impractical, but impracticable means the same thing.
I don't think it's a word.
It is.
It is.
Impracticable is a word.
It's different, but it's similar.
What's the difference?
Impractical means not possible, not probable. I looked it up because I kept reading that in the Articles of Confederation. And
Yeah, it's an older word. It's not used as much anymore. Okay, well, however, it is impractical to proceed to an election without first making nominations. While members are always free to write in on a ballot the name of an eligible person who has not been nominated, or to vote for an eligible non-nominee during a roll call vote, under normal conditions it is likely that most members will confine their choices to the nominees. Without nominations, voting might have to be repeated many times before a candidate achieved the required majority. That makes sense. That you just don't give out blank pieces of paper and go write who you want, which you can do.
Sounds to me though that's like without nominations, you're voluntolding somebody.
Well, yeah, you basically
which
are.
Which is why I'm going horse.
Well, you're writing them.
The same thing.
Yeah.
The studio audience is once again wrong.
So it's strictly speaking were the key words there.
Well, here's the question. I'm gonna poll the audience here. A was when all the current officers have agreed to continue serving. Why do you say that?
Well, the only thing the reason I went there
I'm
was
yawning now. I'm
because
gonna put the donkey
if nobody else is running and everybody's going to agree to continue to serve, then no need for
It
nomination.
didn't say that no one else was running, though.
Right, and that's why I said it wasn't.
And frankly, I extrapolated and I shouldn't have.
Well, no, I understand your reasoning. I'm just wondering about it. And the reason I was going by C was elimination. I know about a nominating committee. We never use those anyway.
Right.
Practical to proceed an election without making a nomination. This is kind of what,
Well, the way it started with since made no sense, so that was done to me.
Right. But the idea that it's not necessarily by ballot or roll call, I understand what they're saying. I think they're wrong because that puts you in the position of somebody being elected who didn't want to do the job in the first place.
You can do that, and then it's just vacant, and you follow however you have to do to fill a vacancy.
Which is a tremendous waste of time and effort for no reason.
But that's why they said strictly speaking. Doesn't mean it's the wisest way to do it, but strictly speaking.
I don't think it's the wisest way to do it at all.
You know what we didn't do that I need to do now?
What?
After this, I need to cue, and I'll back cue it with my...
Oh. Well, we'll see how it turns out.
No, there's no... I got to do that at the end, but I can back. It's fine because he knows what I'm talking about.
I think I do.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're talking about?
I do know what I'm talking about.
Well, good. I'm glad somebody does.
I thought when I did the seal noise, you were going to throw me a fish, though.
What the hell?
I don't have any fish to throw you.
You didn't come with herring?
Herring!
How dare you?
I'm a trout person. I don't have a fishing license. I know, they never stopped me before, but what the hell,
How dare you!
So, I think we got this one.
I think it got us, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing as bad as I did last time.
That's one of those, what the hell are we looking at?
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Nope, nobody's home.
All right. Did you throw your other one in there?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. So now it's you again.
Favor! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.